Hello and welcome to this quarter's webinar. We're going to be talking about commissions using ADS, which is I.B.I.S's advanced distribution software in Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Okay, so thank you for listening in on our webinar on commissions. So today we want to talk about the changes to the commission calculation form and all of the new features that have been added around commissions. Then we're going to talk about being able to actually see those calculations on orders, and then some reports so you can figure out what commissions are owed to the different sales reps and people responsible. So to give a kind of quick background here, this is what the old form in AX 2012 looks like. This is RTM, not R2. But just to give you an idea, there were only 10 fields on here, very minimal options when it came to setting up a commission structure. The new field that we've taken was basically updated that old form and added a bunch of new options to really give your company a bunch of flexibility in trying to match your current commission structure to AX to hopefully simplify and make your life a little bit easier. So I'm going to kind of step through the commission calculation form, kind of field by field, to give you an idea of what all our new fields do and how they can be used. So the first thing I want to talk about is the relations group. So I'm going to go into AX, and you can find the commission calculation form under Sales and Marketing, and then commission calculation. So I've got a test one set up, but I'm going to create a new calculation. So you need to give it a name. So I'm going to call this test 2. The item code, so which items are going to be eligible for this commission calculation. I'm going to leave this at all. So under the Setup tab, where all your calculations are set up, there's a relations group. And this basically determines who gets credit for the commission, what customers is commissioned for, and that's pretty much it. So under customer code, we have our standard table group all. If we want to pick a specific customer, we pick table. A group of customers, we pick group, or all customers, we pick all. So I'm just going to select all. And then we have a bunch of new options for who actually gets credit for this commission. So we have the sales responsible, which is a new option. So you check this checkbox. So the person taking the, if there's a person responsible for the sale on an order, you can assign them on the order and they get credit for it. You can also credit the sales taker, so the person actually keying the order. You can create a custom sales team, which can be a group of people, and I'll show you that in a little bit here, or our standard sales rep group. So the sales rep group is a predetermined group that you create, made up of one or more persons, and then dividing that person on a scale. So let me show you an example here. So under customer groups for commission, you can go ahead and set up a new customer group. Actually, this is customer group. This customer group can be assigned to a customer account so that the table group all option works. And sales group is actually what I was looking for. So you can actually create a group of sales reps. So we have one here for sales reps US. If you hit the sales rep option, you can actually go and select a person from the global address book. Note this pulls in customers, vendors, and people, organizations. Anything in the global address book is eligible. So I can pick Aaron Painter, who's a person, and I hit select, and then you can give them a share of the commission, so they can get 100% of that commission. You could also have someone else in here, and I can select Adam Carter, and maybe we can say it's a 50-50 split. Oops. So here we get a 50-50 split, so two different people, they each get half of the commission, every commission that this sales group is assigned to. So every commission calculation that has group 1 assigned to it, those two people will get 50% of each commission. So I'm going to go back to our commission calculation. So if that was the case, we could pick our sales group here, and then Adam and Andrew would each get 50% of the commissions. This sales program ID is a new field, and it's kind of a separate topic to go over. We've created different sales programs in AX, and that's kind of a much broader topic, so I'm not going to touch on that right now. But basically, you can select a group of orders or a group of sales and select which one this calculation is applicable to. The next thing is the application. So at what point do we want to calculate the commission? So it defaults to invoice, and that's kind of how standard AX looks at it. But you can actually calculate or basically firm the commission once you confirm a sales order, so you don't have to wait for the invoice to be sent out. Or you can wait and defer it till full payment, so the commission isn't actually assigned to the reps until you've actually received payment for that order. So I'm going to leave it on invoice. And then again, the Sales Incentive Promotion Fund is a new topic entirely, where you can basically create a sales agreement and assign a different agreement. And maybe there's a special rebate program, special items, etc. So we're not going to dig into that here, but you can assign again another group of orders for this calculation to be applicable for. So the next part I want to talk about is the commission based on. So this is pretty much standard AX here. We can pick what qualifies. So we're looking at a per order basis, a per line basis, or per period basis. So we select period, we could select a date period, so between 1/1/13 and 12/31/13. So within the calendar year, we can set a sales goal range, and once they reach that goal, they get commission on orders, or maybe it's a tiered structure, so between $0 and $1 million in sale, they get 2%, between $1 million and $3 million, they get 5%, and over $5 million, they get 7% or something like that. So you could set up on a per period basis how you want commissions doled out to your sales reps. You can also do it on a per order basis, which is probably the most common. So every order, they can get credit off of it. And it's important to also think about, well, what kind of qualifies for those dollars? Is it how do you want to handle discounts with it? Do you want to ignore whatever the discount is? So whatever our standard sales price is, that's the price you want to give the commission based on after the discount. So what's the true dollar amount being paid on the line? Or the total discount is after all discounts. Here's what the customer is paying, and this is what commission you're getting off of. You can also select cumulative quantity. So if you actually want to do a quantity, so number of units essentially. So if I sell between 5 and 10 units at whatever price, so between 5 and 10 units, I can give them a 5% commission. Or you could do another one for 0 to 20, they get 5%, and then we can create a new one and do 21 to 50, and they get 7%, etc. So you can kind of use a quantity, not necessarily a dollar amount. So I'm going to uncheck that, and I'm going to go back to a dollar amount. So the next thing is we need to talk about is the basis. So what's the true basis of the order? Is it the revenue that you want to base your commission off of? Is it the margin? We've added commissionable margin if you wanted to use a separate margin calculation that takes out overhead or discounts, things like that. Or your net margin, which is a system generated or system calculated value. So I'm going to use just revenue. I want to give them commission on a percentage of the revenue, or whatever we select our basis as. You can also do a per unit commission. So I'm going to do percentage of basis. So like my previous example, if we're doing from 0 to $1 million, they're going to get a 3% commission. So they can make potentially $30,000 off of that. We can actually do another one for, I'll show you this in a second, 1 to 3 million, 1, 2, 3. Let's make this. Anything over $1 million, you're going to get 5%, etc. Notice we added this limit option here to show basically what's the most I could be paying my sales reps, and also just give an idea of generally what the limits are in the commission without you having to do the math yourself. So you can clearly see, someone could end up walking with $150,000 in commissions, which probably seems a little high. So you may want to reduce this to something like maybe 1%. which is still a pretty nice bonus of $30,000. The period field we talked about briefly. This is just at what time point does this commission calculation take effect. And then the Find Next checkbox, I recommend always checking this, and this is standard. This is going to tell the system when it looks for what commission calculation it should pull in. Once it finds this one, is it the first one it finds is the one that's active, or do I want to keep checking for either the best value for your sales rep or just first one? So if this is unchecked, the system will go out and look through all the commission calculations until it finds one that works. So it'll find this one. It'll say, okay, this is for all items and all customers. This sales rep's getting, it's going to get the credit for it. It's going to see it. This period is correct, so I'm just going to stop. Now, if I hit Find Next, it might go and find me another one that would be for 2%, and it may pick that one as well. So I always recommend using the Find Next checkbox so you truly get the correct commission calculation instead of just the first one it finds. I do want to point out we've added some other fields to make life a little easier around managing these calculations, since they are kind of a manual process to set up. We have the update option here, which basically just requires you to change the date and the amount. So I'm going to change it. So if I want to set up next year's commission structure, I can do 1/1/14 to 12/31/14, and we're going to keep it at 2%. I hit update, and we see a little error. So what it should do is it should create a new one, and I'll show you that we can use the copy function as well. So if I hit copy, it's going to exactly copy what I did. I just need to rename it, and then I can update my date here, 14 to 12/31/14. So there's a couple of quick ways of just basically recreating or maintaining these calculations on a period by period basis, whether you do it monthly, quarterly, yearly, without having to go through and reset these up all the time. So here are my calculations. So this is the first test 3 is for the year 2014. Test 2 is for 2013, but I'm going to change this to $0. So we're going to go create an order here in a minute, and we'll see that we'll assign a sales rep. So I actually want to do a sales responsible for instead of my sales code. And actually, we need to talk about one thing first. So I want to talk about custom sales team, which we kind of skipped over briefly. So we also added the sales team function at the top, and you can basically add a sales team on a calculation by calculation. So I can basically go ahead and pick my same people. So I can pick Aaron again, select Aaron, and I can also select Adam. So I have my custom sales team here, 50-50 split again. And we can basically just have this sales team applicable just for this one calculation. So you don't need to go out and create a sales group and constantly maintain that. You can basically just have a one-time sales group. So I'm going to keep this. So this is going to say for all items, all customers. I'm going to give 50% of my commissions to Adam and the other 50 to Aaron. I'm going to calculate on the invoice. On a per order basis is what I'm going to qualify this commission based on. And I'm going to do a 4-line discount here just because I feel like this, for whatever that my commission is here, it's just going to be whatever the true sales price is. We're going to base it off of revenue. We're going to give them 2% based on this percentage here. And we're going to save the form. Okay. So let me delete this test 1 because it's kind of a conflicting. Actually, let me leave it open. So this is actually going to be a kind of conflicting commission calculation. We're going to have the same item. So for any item and any customer again. So when we go to create a sales order, it's going to find these 2 calculations, and we'll show you how you can actually select which calculation you want to apply on the order and things like that. Let me just change this to invoice. Okay. So I'm going to go to all sales orders. I'm going to create a new sales order. And we're going to pick Cave Wholesales. going to find an item. So I'm going to use item number 1. I'm going to add 10 units here. Hit create to create the line. So I have, for item 1, I have 10 units at $3 a piece. So let's make this a little bit more. Let's do $300 a piece. So that's going to give us about $3,000. And let's make it a little bit more. Let's make it $30,000. Okay. So we have $30,000 sales order here. On the invoice tab, we've added some new fields here under our commissions group. So the commission calculation, this is going to show you all commission calculations that can be applied to this order. So if you'll notice, we'll see test 1 and test 2 in here because we're set for all items and all customers. This already went ahead and filtered out the specific customers we selected. And you notice we don't see test 3 because of the time period. So we don't, because it was for 2014 and we're doing this in 2013, it hasn't applied it here. So we can actually go ahead and, if we want to just deselect or not have a particular commission calculation apply to an order, we can just hit the cancel button here and it will ignore it. Or you can go ahead and just remove it entirely from that order. That doesn't delete the calculation itself, it just deletes it from the order. I'm going to close this. So we're going to have our test 2 being our commission calculation. You can actually go and get a preview of the commission calculation. There's a periodic job that runs. It will basically go out to all your orders and verify that what commissions are eligible and give you an estimate on what the commission would be. I haven't run that job, that's why this is showing empty, but you could basically see at what date we ran the calculation as to our estimate what the commission would be, who's responsible, what item, and then how much that commission value would be. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm the sales order. Okay. Oh, I need to pick a sales taker. So on the sales header, we can assign a sales taker. This generally is defaulted in by your users. So when you go up and set up your users in AX, your kind of day-to-day users, if you're a customer service rep, they would have a person record in the global address book, and that would be assigned to their user. So this sales taker would default to whoever creates the order. Since I'm logged in as administrator, it doesn't bring in anything. So let's say Mary, who's a customer service manager. She's the one taking the order, and we can also assign a person responsible for. So we could say Carl. No. We'll say Ken Ewert, who's the controller. He's responsible for the sale. So when we were looking at the commission calculation, we could choose who got credit for it, the sales taker, the sales responsible. That's based on whoever exists in these 2 fields. So we're using the custom sales team, so we don't need to worry about that, but I just wanted to point it out. So let me finish processing this order. So I'm going to generate the packing slip. And then the invoice. Post the invoice. Okay. So in standard AX, the way you kind of had to check the commission, you would actually go ahead and look at the sales order. You go ahead and hit the voucher for the invoice. And you would be able to see the commission. So finished goods. This is it right here. Oh, that's Georgia state tax. So you basically have to hunt through all the transactions and the different vouchers and things like that to find it. So it's a little tedious and a little time consuming just trying to find out where exactly your commission is hitting. So let me close this. We have made it a little bit easier for you. There's a commission option here, which will pull up our commission transactions. So for test 2, Adam Carter got $20,000, and Aaron Aaron Kahn got 20,000 as well, because that's how it was set up on our commission calculation. So we see each person, which commission calculation it came from, and the status of it, so it's posted, the sales order number, the invoice it references, and then the date. So we can see that right from the order itself, from the invoice journal as well. We can actually close our sales order and go back to the sales and marketing homepage, and we've added under commented commissions thing, and you can see all commission transactions. So here's all the posted commission transactions. So there's one I did earlier for Jody Christensen. They got $25 commission, and then luckily Adam Carter and Aaron Kahn got $20,000 each for their one order. So we can actually look at some of the estimated commissions if we have open orders here of what's expected to be paid. So maybe we have 6 or 7 orders that are confirmed but not yet invoiced. So we know generally what the commission value will be, and it would show it here. I don't have any open orders, so there's nothing to see here. You can also look at the posted transactions if you want to just filter out what's been posted. When you have a ton of these, it might be easier to do that. And then under accounts receivable, reports, transactions, and then under the commissions group, there's a transaction list. It's not going to run for me on the environment I'm on, unfortunately, but it generates an SSRS report that lists every person within a specified date range and then how much commission is owed to them. So that's pretty good if you pay commissions on a monthly basis. You can go and see, okay, over the 20 orders here, we have, let's say this person gets $10,000 in commission. So it would show each line and also a summary value of, for this month we need to pay $10,392 to this person. So that's standard AX, and it's pretty helpful if you want to do it that way. So I kind of flew through this. We talked about the commission calculation. The commission posting is standard AX, and this is just which GL accounts do you want to hit for your commissions. Customer groups is just creating a group of customers. So you go ahead and create the commission customer group here. You go into a customer. Just open one up. Edit. I think it's under invoice and delivery. See here, statistics group, no, not there. It's just all defaults, it's gotta be where it is. Yep, commission group, so I can pick my customer group here. So I could assign like 5 or 6 different customer groups. If you do something like where you have your customers, you have an individual customer record for each store as part of a dealership, or every Walmart store in the state of Georgia, you can list all the stores and then also have a customer account for Walmart National. You could assign all the different stores the Walmart commission group, and that way all your Walmart accounts would be eligible for a specific commission calculation. So you can kind of group customers that way just for commission's sake. You can also create, let me close this. You can also create groups of items. So a group for different, if you only specific items get commission onto that, you can actually assign the items to a specific commission group. And that is it. And then the sales groups we talked about, which are the different sales reps. So all those groups tie in when you're picking your item table group or all, or customer table group or all. So here's my customer group, etc. So that's pretty much it when it comes to commissions. Like I said, there was only about 3 options really when you were trying to create commissions in the previous version of AX. So we definitely had a lot of flexibility for who gets credit for an order, at what point it gets calculated on, and then some of the different options like doing a physical quantity at how do you handle discounts, what is your basis, and then showing you what the limits and everything else are. So go back to my PowerPoint here. So we talked about the commission calculation. So how do we handle the commission on a per order, per line, or per period basis, discounts, units sold, the basis for the commission, the to and from values on the quantities and the amounts. You can set up a tier, and then the date, period, and any credit or limits to the order. The custom sales team, if you have a specific sales team for a commission calculation, and then generally this is an example of what a finished commission calculation would look like. So that's all I have. You can email us at info@ibisync.com, and we'd be happy to kind of help solve any more questions you have. Thank you very much. Have a good day.